Hey guys, welcome. I'm making some floating shelves right now, and one edge of this is going to be shown, and one problem I'm having with, like with melamine, you always have things like this happening. Over here it's the same, and I can't put the edge banding on there looking like that because, it's not presentable. So, one way to cut and avoid this is to cut it on the table saw with a blade that has at least 82. Um, and you put you cut twice. But what happens sometimes is like they cut at the store that I bought this. Um, if you I don't know if you can see, but here is the first cut they made, and then this is the second cut. But here is a little bit out, and here's a little in. Putting the edge banding on there, it might show. I don't know. But to be safe, I choose to take it off. The way I plan to take this off is by clamping this onto here and then past the router. Now, since the base of the router is somewhere between from the blade, the cutting edge of the router cutter, to let me show you. From here to here on the router, it's anywhere between 2 3/4 to about 2 13/16, somewhere there. Now, one thing that I've noticed is when I put this down on this, I just slide around. So I measure 7.2 centimeters from this edge to about right there. And with the square, I just mark it square. Now, putting the sandpaper on here, it won't slide around. So you put it on there and it won't slide around. Instead of it sliding, the whole thing slides. So, now to secure it, I use 2 clamps. I clamp one here, I just line it up with the mark right here, and the other mark over here. And I put another clamp on here. Then remove the clamp and everything. As you look here, all clean. And on the other side, it's also a clean cut. Now to get your edge banding on, one thing you're gonna want to do is with a piece of sandpaper and a sanding block, because right now this is pretty rough. You just do that, and now it's smooth. Then you get your contact cement and you put it on there. Now, here's the edge banding I'll be using. Look, almost like the laminate. To cut it, I've tried using a simple scissors, but I see that this zinc scissors is used to cut metal and stuff. I found that this is pretty good for cutting that. So what I want to do is, cut it just a little longer, like an inch longer, inch and a half longer. Grab my scissors, and I just cut it off. One thing I like to do, I think it holds better, is use a 180 sandpaper or any sandpaper and just scuff up the back of the edge banding so that the glue can adhere better. Now to apply the glue, all I do is, I'm going to set it kind of at an angle, but I always try to set it flat because it runs. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm back. Gotta set my camera up a little better. So to put on the contact cement, I put it in this bottle. It didn't come in this bottle. So because this have a little hole, I just put it in this bottle. Put a bead of contact cement on here. Now to get an even spread, what I do, I use this little paint roller, and I put a piece of PVC pipe on here. Take off the the roller and put that on there, and then I just use it like, I don't know if you can see it, but this is fully covered right here, and I just apply it like that, because you want to get all of it covered with contact cement, and then do the same to the edge banding. Now while the contact cement dries, I'll show you how I cut the edge banding, because it's pretty thick, so I can't just use that little thing that is made to to cut the edges, the edge banding off. So I use the router table. Now, all I do, the router is mounted here, and here there is a 3/8 cutter. You can use whatever size. It doesn't matter the size of it. But you want to make sure it's cutting flush or a little before you hit the millimeter. And I just put it up on this fence, and I pass it along here. And that takes care of that edge banding. I think the glue is set up now, and I'll put the edge banding on. Now that the contact cement is, set up and ready to go, what I want to do is make sure that this is, centered and hanging over on both ends. I just want to put it down on there in the center of it. And then I use a block, just a piece of wood. The edge is kind of rounded right there. And I just work the glue into the panel to get a strong bond. And you can use a J roller, but a J roller, you have to use both hands as you put the edge banding on. With this, you can use one hand. And you just put it on like that. So that step is done.